his 5th season as the head coach at St. Martin's Episcopal School. He previously served as the head coach at Newman and as the head coach at Fort Worth Country Day. His Saints are currently 7-1 overall, and they'd be a very high seed if the playoffs started today in their classification. And will face Cohen this Friday. Please give a warm quarterback club welcome to Coach Frank Gendusa of St. Martin's Episcopal.
Thank you, Ken, and thanks to the Greater New Orleans Quarterback Club for inviting me here, and another thanks to Ed Daniels. Ken and Ed do so much for prep football here in our area, and it's greatly appreciated. They're always there when you need them, always there to answer a question, and so I really appreciate what they do. I have a few minutes to speak, and I don't know if I could talk 7 minutes on just a football season so far, but looking around, I'm probably the dean of coaches up here. I've been around for a long time, year 44 for high school coaching. And in those years, to get to where I am and have the success that I've had over the last 30 or 40 years, a lot of it depends on some of the people that I looked up to and coaches I worked for. And I just want to spend a moment before I get onto my team to tell you about a couple of people. Some of you may know, some of them are not around with us any longer. First thing I want to talk about is my dad. My dad grew up around Bayou St. John. This was his stomping grounds when he was a kid. He didn't have a great education. He went through the 6th grade. And in 1940, at the age of 16, he got his brother to sign for him and he joined the United States Army. Made the rank of sergeant, landed a tank on Omaha Beach, I believe, in the 3rd wave. Took a Sherman tank across with a snorkel on the back of it. He said they dropped him in about 8 or 9 feet of water. Said the tank was leaking, but they got it on shore. After that, he joined the 3rd Army and was a tanker for General Patton. And was they put him in a TD, which was a tank destroyer, and it's an open turret. He told me that they had 5-inch naval guns on them, and it was the only thing that could really match up with the target tanks. Went through France and was sent to Bastogne and fought in the Battle of the Bulge as a tanker. And on his way back through Luxembourg, his tank got hit. He bailed out the back end. He was the driver, took a machine gun bullet in the leg, and finished up the war in England, which wasn't too bad because he met my mother in Coventry. And so fate would have it, I'm here. But my dad was a real hero. And he provided for us with, like I said, a 6th grade education, and he's the kind of guy that you want to look up to. You know, he taught me about starting something and finishing it. And I'll have a little quick story. I was 16 or 17. I'm at Warren Easton High School. It's basketball season. Saturday, I just finished practice. I came home, and Dad was a great carpenter, and he was redoing the porch in our shotgun house and the steps. And so he said I had to paint it, Battleship Gray. I wasn't happy, my buds were going off, and I'm sure I wanted to go around, hanging around. So I started painting, and as I painted this whole porch Battleship Gray, I went and got him and said I finished it. And then he said, did you paint under the steps? And I went, why would I need to paint under the steps? No one's going to know that there's not paint under there. And his answer to me was, you'll know. And at the time, I wasn't probably very happy. I probably learned a lot more from it as I got older. But one of the things that he was trying to teach me was, if you're going to do something, do it right, or don't do it at all. Then I went to high school and I had Coach Greek Atlas. I don't know if any of you know him, but the Greek was tough. He taught me how to be, taught me how to work hard, and taught me how to set goals. And that's what I did, you know, through the rest of my years in high school. But the Greek was, he was a big influence on me. And then finally I went to Newman High School and I worked for Coach Tony Reginelli. He's the person that taught me how to be humble, and how to be respectful, and how to care about other people and not yourself, how to check your ego, and how to become a good coach. And to this day, Coach Reg and I are good friends. I worked 23 years with Coach Reginelli at Newman School. Really strange. 12 of them were as his assistant, and 11 of them when I coach, and he was my assistant. Then I spent 4 years in the Navy right before that. From 1971 to 1975. I learned discipline, how to take orders, how to give orders, and how to be the best person I can be. Without those people, I wouldn't be up here, and I wouldn't have coached and had the success I've had with my kids. I'm very grateful for all of those people that I've met. And then sitting at that table right there are a group of 7 coaches that work with me right now. Some are football coaches, got a basketball coach, tennis coach over there. We're all friends, some old friends, and Coach Farris, who's been with me since 1981 in various positions. All to my newest friends, Katie Dizer, who came from us from Riverside High School last year. Can't get this stuff done by yourself as a head coach, especially in football. It's one of those unique sports where all day at practice you're in different places, and then on Friday night, somehow or another, you're able to put it all together and have a good game or a bad one. They're the ones that put in the work, they put in the hours. 10-hour days are not unusual. Game days probably 16 or 17. And there's nothing can be done as a head coach if you don't have a good staff. Coach Reg taught me that. Hire good people and let them coach. And that's what I do. And I appreciate every one of them sitting at the table. This year at St. Martin's, this is my 5th year. And when I got there 4.5 years ago, they asked me how long I thought it would take to get the program back. They had been good in the past and had a handful of bad years leading up to when I got there, and I said it would take us 5 years. Well, this is year 5. I don't know if I'm prophetic or whether I had some idea what was going to happen, but the most wins we've had over the last 4 years was 3. And right now we're sitting at 7-1, and with a chance to maybe run this out and get a nice seed in the playoffs. I have an extremely talented running back. His name is Harlan Berry. He is a sophomore. Last year, as a freshman in a 7-game season, rushed for 2,036 yards on 164 carries. 22 touchdowns. He has offers from Texas, LSU, Ohio State, Nebraska, Mississippi State, Grambling, Southern, oh God, the Saints, yeah. He's really a talented running back. I like to take credit for it, but I just let him do his thing. You just don't mess him up. But he's very talented. But you can't just win with one player. I was very fortunate years ago, and I coached at Newman, and I had all the Mannings play for me. I like to be able to tell you I taught them everything they know also. I taught them how to throw. I taught them how to win. But they sat across from an all-pro player every night, dinner and breakfast and lunch. And I think genetics plays a big part in that. But it was sure fun coaching them. And once again, when you have talent like that, just don't mess them up. So after those Newman days, I'm at St. Martin's. Besides having a great player in Harlan Berry, you got to be able to stop people, and our defense is playing really well right now. And I'm very fortunate to have a senior grandson who plays for me. It's been really fun at times. At other times, it's challenging. But our defense is playing really well. We've had 3 or 4 shutouts already this year, and they're the ones that are keeping us in games. I know people always say, offense puts on a show and the defense wins championships. I guarantee you can't win with either one of them. You better have them both going. You better try to do both of them well. And I'm very fortunate, once again, I have Coach Farris here, who's been coaching special teams for me for a long, long time. He's enthusiastic, he's energetic, and he's really a fun guy. The kids love him. And he is running our special teams right now, and we're doing well in all 3 phases of our game. I just hope we can finish it up and really make a nice little run in the playoffs. In closing, I'll say this. There's not a day that goes by that I don't enjoy going into school. I've been in a number of jobs. Last year, I was the interim head of the upper school for the entire year, as well as the athletic director, and still trying to coach football. And I was talking to Dennis earlier, and I went, I don't know how he runs 2 major organizations, because I couldn't do that job I was doing and do it well. This is fun for me. I don't know how much longer I'm going to go. It's sort of a young man's game. But I enjoy every day I go out, and I enjoy every day that I wake up in the morning and get dressed and put my shoes on and get to work. Coach, I have a friend of mine who was, when I first started coaching at John F. Kennedy High School, his name was Lloyd Ozo. He was a coach over at St. Aug after we were at Kennedy together. And it's just a quick story. And so we're at Kennedy, we got about 30 players. And we're getting ready to play Carver High School the next year, next game. And they had twin brothers, I think they were Wayne and Dwayne. Wayne and Dwayne Smith. One was a quarterback, one was a wide receiver. So 16 millimeter film, you know, we didn't have huddle or any of that stuff then. You had to trade, and that usually came on Monday because it took the weekend for them to kind of develop it. So on Monday we sent Coach Ozo over to Carver to trade film. And so he was gone for a little while, and we had finished practice, and the coaches were in the back office, and Lloyd comes in, and I said, well, Lloyd, how did it go? He said, oh, okay. And I said, well, by any chance, did you see what they were doing while they were practicing? And he said, yeah, Coach. He said the Smith twins were practicing spiking the ball in the end zone. Well, we knew we were in trouble that day, and believe me, we were. We didn't stop them. I don't think it was like 50-7 at the end of the game. First play from scrimmage, they ran a long touchdown pass. But anyway, but Coach Ozo is an old friend of mine, and I know he's been at St. Aug, or was at St. Aug for a number of years. Thank you for having me. I am sorry, I hope I didn't go over time too much. And go Saints in more than one way.